Hola TGC, my name is Michelle Traub. I'm a 2017-2018 TGC Fellow. I had the experience of going to Senegal last year with my cohort. I'm really excited that you guys are getting to hear a little bit of our stories. I was lucky to know some TGC Fellows in the past and was able to observe them in the classroom either via Skype or in real life, and just knowing what other teachers were doing was really helpful in my own global collaboration. So I wanted to share one story of something new that I picked up from TGC that I continue to use in my classroom today, and that for me was Twitter. So when I started TGC, I was 27 years old. I still had my own siblings in high school at the time, and I was pretty up to date with social media with my personal life, but never professionally. So Twitter isn't something too often used in the personal sphere, at least for my age group. So I really didn't know how I was going to use it in my classroom, but it was something that we had to set up through TGC. So I did. I have a Twitter which is @SenioraTraub, and I started to follow different groups such as Mystery Skype or the Asia Society, just some bigger names in global ed. But really what hit it off for me was one time with my 7th grade class, my students had a question about Catalonia referendum. We read a little article about it. I thought it was just going to be a quick, start to a lesson, but turns out my students were really, really curious about how other kids felt about the referendum, particularly in the region and then in the school system. If they were teaching it, what was allowed to be said in the public school system, and I couldn't Google those answers. There was nothing that was super clear. So I put out a question on Twitter. So here's my question originally. And it says, searching for a class to #Mystery Skype or connect with in Catalonia to discuss cultural themes with my Spanish class in the USA. And then I put a few hashtags. I put #Spain, #Catalonia, #global collaboration, #Spanish teacher, #Spanish class. And through that, starting with only like 5 followers, I just posted that, and I ended up getting a ton of private messages from teachers in Catalonia and then teachers outside of Catalonia wanting to share their thoughts on the referendum. So it was really exciting for my students. We had 2 different points of view, some people that were really, really pro the referendum and some people that were not. With that, my students and I set up a Padlet where my 7th graders wrote a bunch of questions, and then we put the Padlet on Twitter, and different Spanish teachers or English teachers, whoever had responded, were able to either respond personally or have their students respond to our questions. This ended up allowing us to have really great connections with the students that were on the ground. We had students that had come in from referendum rallies. We had teachers that were really anti the referendum, where we're giving them their point of view. One teacher who was saying that she was really nervous to even respond to us on Twitter, so she asked us if she could write a personal email on a Word document, not even on a Google Doc. She didn't want it like any more online than that, to give us her viewpoint. So it's a really, really great way to have true global collaboration between students around the world. So my advice to you with Twitter is definitely make an account, follow as many people as you can. I only have 75 followers right now, but with that I can still do a great deal. And then anytime your students have a question or just something that they're wondering about in the global sphere, put it out on Twitter and see if you can gather some responses from outside the US. You never know what kind of connections you can make.